Hey, good morning to you. I know that most of you all are probably doing something. Many of you are probably getting ready to go to your own worship service, but I felt like I needed to come out and speak today. This is something that I had actually talked to my family about yesterday, and I felt like I wanted to come to you all today and bring this same message that I actually gave to my family. Again, my name is Ed. For those who don't know me, this is going to be recorded on Facebook, which it's on right now, and also this is going to be recorded on YouTube. So I will be putting this on YouTube. So welcome to those of you who are on YouTube as well. But we have a dilemma that we are dealing with today, and it has to do with, let me get a little closer to you. It has to do with what we are putting into our mouth. And is what we are putting in our mouth pleasing to the Most High? And better yet, is it even acceptable to Him that His children eat this stuff that is called UPFs? You'll hear the abbreviation of that from me a lot, which simply means ultra-processed foods. And ultra-processed food is actually not food. Okay, let's just be honest. It is not food. It is an industrial made product. So I'm going to talk just a little bit about, process and things like that. But I first want to read a scripture. And let me say this up front too as well. If you are not a Bible believer and you don't like to hear about the Bible or anything like that, this probably is not going to be the video for you. So you may want to go ahead and bow out at this time, because we're going to be relating this to the scripture about how we're eating this processed mess that has been created for us to put into our mouth. So again, if it's offensive to you to hear the word of the Most High, this is not going to be your video. That's my standard that I live by. I don't apologize for it, but today we are actually going to get into some scripture. Okay, and I'm going to put the scripture up on the screen for you. That way you don't have to worry about going to look in the Bible yourself. I'll show it up on the screen. So let's go ahead and get started and look at a couple of things. 1 Corinthians chapter 10 and verse 31. 1 Corinthians chapter 10 and verse 31. Okay, it says, and I've got the Strong's Concordance. These are numbers that you can look up and it'll actually tell you what that word actually means. And I'm going to show you a couple of them. All right. It says, so whether therefore ye eat or drink or whatsoever ye do, do all to the glory of God. Okay, whether therefore you eat or drink or whatsoever you do, do all to the glory of God. So let's look at the first part of this sentence. Whatever therefore you eat or drink. Okay, whatever you eat or drink. And then he says, or whatsoever you do. It doesn't matter what you do, whatever you do, do all to the glory of the Most High. Okay, so now you're not going to go out and fornicate and say, I'm doing this for the glory of the Most High. No, you're not going to do that. You're not going to go out and rob a store and say, hey, I'm doing this for the glory of the Most High. No, you're not going to do that whatsoever. So back that up. What about drinking? So when you open up a can of sugary, processed soda, and, I know there's probably going to be people who may want to get off her after we get done talking about this. And, I can't apologize for it. My job is to awaken people to what the word says. And then we take our life and we examine our life by it. So let's look at the word drink. When you open up a can of beer processed by an industrial company, are you drinking to the glory of the Most High? What about eating? When you go into the store and you buy a packaged product that is made by an industrial company and you eat that, are you eating to the glory of the Most High? First, let's find out what the word glory means. so that we will have an understanding of what he's actually saying, okay? All right, so let's look at this word glory. And I'm gonna move this over just a little bit. Okay, so this word in Greek is G1391, doxa. Doxa. Okay, it says from the base of G1380, that's coming from another root word. Okay, it means glory. It means in a wide application or literally, figuratively, objectively, or subjectively, dignity, glory, honor, praise, worship. When we are eating processed food, are we worshiping the Most High? These processed foods have chemicals in them. We can't even explain what most of them are. Guaranteed, they are all chemical based. Guaranteed, every one of these processed foods that we are eating is some bad chemical that does something bad to our bodies. Listen, processed food has now overtaken smoking, cigarettes as the number one killer of life in the United States. Processed foods, it is the originator of the ailments that we are having now. The diabetes, the cancer, the high blood pressure. All of these things from processed food is where we are getting it from. How can I tell you? Because I'm one of those who actually went through that process. I know because I ate processed food and it got me in a dangerous health situation. But when I started eating whole food, everything came back to normal. My life started coming back to normal again. So that's how I can tell you, I was eating processed food. It was bringing death to my body. When I was eating the whole food, which I eat now, it brings life to my body. It gives me energy. It gives me a clear, sane mind. It gives me hope. It gives me joy. But when I was eating the UPFs, the ultra processed foods, man, some bad things were happening to me. Anxiety was happening to me. Forms of depression was happening to me because of what I was consuming in my body. So when I was eating those UPFs, those ultra processed foods, was I really glorifying the Most High by what I was eating? I would dare say not. As a matter of fact, I believe that he would tell you that that food is unclean. It's unclean. If it's tearing down life, which he has given us, then it is not good for us to have. This ultra processed food thing that we are going through right now, it is the number one killer of everybody in this country. Imagine when we were growing up, we heard about tobacco. Oh, there's a ban on tobacco. It's killing people. People are getting cancers and all these things. Well, guess what? Processed food is doing the same thing. We are committing suicide with our bodies. We are taking this temple that the Most High has given us, and we are destroying it by what we are putting in our mouths. The food industry don't care anything about y'all. The food industry doesn't care anything about me whatsoever. What they want from me, let me show you what they want. They want my money. That's what they want. They don't care about my health. They don't care about my life. What they want to know is, can I open this up and give them something? And when I was eating that food, but I would open up my wallet when I felt that urge, that craving for that mess that they gave me, and that mess was making me want more mess. Hey, let me tell you what, I was dying, and I was paying for my death. And that is what many of us right now are doing. We are paying for our death. Let that sink in a minute. This food that they are giving us is not food. If you want pizza, go buy you some whole wheat flour. Make your own dough. Go get you some real tomatoes and make your own tomato sauce. Go buy you some real cheese. There is a such thing as real cheese. You're going to pay for it. Go buy you some real cheese and go get your vegetables and stuff, whatever you want on your pizza, and make it at your house. You see, that's not ultra processed. That's processed. I mean, you processed it. I'm okay with food that I process, but when some other industrial company is making my food and they're using chemicals and things that we have no idea what it is, there's no way the Most High would be pleased with that. There are things that I'm learning about these different additives that they are putting in our food. They are not food. Some of them come from oil. Some of it's plastic. And we wonder why our kids run around with ADHD, was what they try to call it. You know, they've been eating food coloring that is horrible for them. Table sugar, horrible, no nutritional value whatsoever. Horrible. So look at these things. We have to ask ourselves, are we pleasing the Most High with what we are putting in our mouth? And if we are not pleasing him, we have to stop. If we can prove that this stuff is killing our bodies, that it is sending us to the grave early, that it's giving us Alzheimer's, dementia, that now they're calling it type 3 diabetes. I mean, this stuff is literally destroying our bodies. This stuff is, you know, you notice the DaVita places where they go and get the kidney dialysis done, they're popping up all over the place. Why? Because the food sends you to the doctor, and the doctor sends you to this, and this sends you to that. It's like a money chain that goes on the whole way. And you don't have to live like that. You don't have to do that. You do not have to become that. All right? So let's look at another scripture real quick. Okay. 3 John verse 1 and 2. It says, "Beloved, I wish above all things that thou mayest prosper and be in health, even as thy soul prospereth." So he's praying that we prosper and that we be in good health. Now, good health is really important. So let's look at this word health. Okay, I'm going to put this right up in front of me because I want you to see it. Okay, I'm not going to, Hugiano, the Strong's word G5198. It says to have sound health. That is to be well in body. To be, listen to this, y'all, to be uncorrupted, true in doctrine, be in health, sound, whole. Listen, when we're sick, we're not sound, we're not whole, we're not in health when we're sick. When we're sick, we're not whole. We don't feel good, our noses run, we have headaches, our bodies ache. This flu that's going around, it's putting people out. A lot of this stuff we would not get if we would only put the right foods into our mouths, i.e., fruit and vegetables. As much as you can, uncooked. You see, those things is what is going to have the health in your body going. The processed foods that we eat, that's what gets us sick. We're not putting nutrition into our bodies for our bodies to fight off the sickness that we're having. And because we're not able to fight off the sickness that we are having, what do? We lose our time at our jobs, which okay, don't even let me get on that. We lose times with our families because we're down and out. Things don't get done because we're sick. But that's only because we don't put the proper food in our body. So when somebody comes around us who has an illness, guess what happens? We catch it just like that. But we would see if we were putting the whole foods into our body, the foods that we're supposed to be eating that came from the ground. Listen, let me tell you about Adam and Eve, or Adam and Hawa. Adam and Eve were they were both actually. They were vegetarians and they were fruitarians. Because he said to eat what grows from the ground and what comes from the tree. All these trees you can eat from, but just not that one. So they were vegetarians and they were fruitarians. That's all they ate was plant-based food and fruit that came off of the tree. You notice no other animal other than an ape has this right here, this thumb. See that thumb right there? That thumb is to help you reach up and grab grab a fruit off of a tree. If you didn't have that, you'd be trying to grab it like that. But that thumb right there is to reach up and to squeeze that fruit and to pull it down. So ask yourself, just by the scriptures that we've even read, look at the research and the data about ultra-processed food. Yes, that includes your frozen food that you buy at the grocery store, except for your vegetables, your frozen vegetables and stuff like that. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about food that has been made from an industrial company. And then look on the back and see all the different ingredients. This week I wanted a wrap, and I told my family, I said, hey, when you're at the store, I want you to go get those almond wraps for me. And so at least they're almond wraps. I know they should be pretty good. So I ate a couple of almond wraps, and I was like, man, those things are good. And so later on, I was going to fix me another wrap because I load them up with spinach and I load them up with tomatoes, avocados, onions. It's just good. So I'll eat a raw wrap like that. But I turned the package around and I read the back of the wraps, and they had 15 different ingredients, and I had to chuck it away. Just because it says almond something doesn't mean a thing. It's ultra processed, but they make it sound good by saying almond flour. So now you think, okay, that's healthy. I'm going to use that. But in actuality, they've mixed so much stuff with it that it's horrible. All right. So I'm going to be doing this pretty frequently. Like I said, I think it's just important that we actually learn and understand about what processed food is doing to us. Hey, I understand even on Facebook here, some of you all are going to listen to this and you're going to turn away because you don't want to hear it, because food is your idol. Food idolatry is what it's called. You don't want to turn away from it because it tastes too good to you. And many people don't know that they have a food addiction, and they really do have one. Just a month ago, I didn't even believe in food addiction. I said, no, that's food idolatry. Well, after I've been learning here over the last several months that the industrial factories put things in their food for you to be chemically addicted to it, excitotoxins, they put things in the food for you to be addicted to it. Then I started saying, okay, we are addicted to food. And so now, again, my job, and I feel like my goal and my heart is to help people to come away from that. All right. So listen, I know that you all have heard me talk about this, but we are going to be having a live challenge, and it is called the Food Redo Challenge. And it's called the Food Redo Challenge because we need to relearn about food, what food really is. We need to relearn and understand where our health is actually coming from. Our health is coming from our food that we're eating. It's not that the food is the health. It's that the food has the nutrients to give our bodies to create the good health. And so we're going to be talking about that. It's a 5-day challenge. It's going to be 1 hour every day. It's going to be live. We're going to be in Florida hosting this live challenge. It's going to go all over the world. We're going to have people applying, registering for it from all over the world. It is free. It is no charge for it. So if you would like to be a part of that, here on the 21st of February, we're going to start putting out information. All you have to do is register for it. And it's going to be at about 12 o'clock, February the 5th through the 9th. All right, so I'm going to be putting more information out about that. But y'all, we really got to take a look at this ultra processed food. If we couldn't put it on the altar to the Most High, we should not be eating it. Because only that was good and edible was able to go on the altar and be sacrificed to the Most High. And if he saw you putting this ultra processed food on his altar, he would condemn us. So now we are bringing ultra processed food into his temple in which he resides in which he created. So we have to decide today. We need to make decisions to start doing what is right before him, because we are going to be held accountable for what we are putting into our mouths. All right. Hey, I hope that this was good for you all. Hey, it's been a learning thing for me too. It's been something that I have been learning here lately. And when I learn it, you all, those of you who know me, you know my nature, it is to tell everybody about it so that we can work out our soul and our salvation with fear and with trembling. All right. Hey, I'll see you on the next time. Hey, like I said, sometimes I'll just pop in and out and do these kind of things. And I really hope that you all are getting something from it, especially from the word of the Most High. All right. You all take care. I will see you on the next video. Bye-bye.